Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Today you are not taking up any exam, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So exam postponed to Wednesday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma. And the coming exam, the portion, right? You can expect more question from molecular basis of inheritance, right?
Yes,
From
sir.
the 235 from molecular basis alone, right, ma?
Yes, sir.
So molecular basis la you can expect more number of questions, 30 to 35 questions from molecular basis, right? The remaining few questions from sexual reproduction and other chapters you can expect, right? So that you can beat around this molecular basis of inheritance, and also you can work out, you can do all the exercise, whatever exercise given in the book. So all exercise work out pannunga, and you can expect some problem based question also. Already we discussed it, right? So you think and give an right? Correct, ma?
Yes, sir.
Shall we start today class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here we are discussing organism and population. In organism population, we are going to see two important topics. Is organism and its environment. Another second topic is population, right? Like two topics are there. One is organism and environment. Another topic is population, right? So last discussed what is the organism, what is a population, what is a community, what is biome. And we discussed about the annual variation and the major biomes of the India. There we discussed 6 important biomes, right? So desert, forest, temperate forest, coniferous, Arctic and alpine tundra, right? In further see are the biotic compounds present in particular environment and what are the abiotic compounds are found in the particular environment, right? Here you can see there is one word habitat, right? So habitat nothing but the place where the actually the place where the living organism are, the organism are living. That place name is called, you can call it as habitat, right? So the habitat may be depends on the habitat may differ. So habitat now how we can say the place where the organism is living, that place name is called, we are saying that habitat. Generally in ecosystem we discussed there are two important habitats are there. One is aquatic habitat, another one is a terrestrial. Terrestrial on land organisms are there, inland organisms are there. Terrestrial which are living other than aquatic, we together we are calling as terrestrial. On land is there and inland also there. On land and inland, right? So 1 minute, ma. All are listening, ma. So habitat. you take any habitat, right? Any habitat for organism, the habitat which include two important compounds, which include both biotic and abiotic factor or abiotic components. So biotic habitat. So the biotic factor nothing but which include all living organism found in that particular area or given area. So abiotic compounds nothing but all non-factor. Together we are calling as abiotic factor. Any habitat or simply can say any ecosystem also, any environment also. If you take anything, so any environment, you can find there will be interaction between the biotic the individual of other the same species, individual of the same species, and also one species interacting with other species. Similarly, these organisms they are having interaction with the other abiotic factor also. For example, we are human being. We are having some kind of interaction with other human beings, right? Other individuals, human. Like one human interacting with other human. Similarly, we are having interaction with other living organisms like animals and plants. And also interaction with the abiotic component environment also. But these interactions are okay because they an abiotic factor. So these factor they interact constantly. Required that they can interact with the both biotic as well as abiotic factor, right? And here abiotic factor so like abiotic compounds on the which one comes under abiotic? Abiotic compound also called physiochemical components. Abiotic compounds on the you can say the physio components like water, light, temperature, soil, the humidity, etc. Even wind, like etc. There are a lot of the main physiochemical compound or abiotic compounds of environment. The environment is water, light, temperature, soil, humidity, wind, and even wind pressure, etc. So all together will come. Okay, even atmosphere comes under abiotic compound. And the biotic compounds, like there are many organisms there, starting from unicell to multicell, from simple multicell to complex multicellular up to human being. So, but these organisms they are having a lot of role. Some organisms they behave as a pathogen. Some organisms they behave as a parasite. Some they comes under predator, some they comes under competitor. So like we are comes under human beings and we are predating organism, right? Heterotrophs. But these biotic and abiotic compound of environment leads to of different habitats, right? The habitat to habitat only you can find some differences, right? Actually, in a given environment or given habitat, what is the role played by the biotic component, the individual organ of the biotic component? So what is the role? What is the position in the environment? That is, you can call it a niche. So niche also called as ecological niche also. Actually, what position it occupied and what role it is playing. For example, if a human, you take example one organism, whether they are consumer, there are different levels are there. Like what position they occupied and what role it playing in that particular environment. That is, you can call it as ecological niche. But all living organisms, they are having some role in that particular habitat. So either they can act as a producer, consumer or secondary or top carnivore, etc. Right? So that position we are calling as ecological niche. But each organism, they are evolved mechanism, they adapt to the particular habitat so that they can tolerate various conditions, so they can utilize various resources available in that particular habitat, right? And we, for example, we are terrestrial environment, mostly grassland. When we can tolerate the different environment condition easily. You can tolerate like temperature, sometimes it increasing, sometimes decreasing, sometimes there is a light intensity is very huge, high or low. So sometimes what will happen, there is a wind power is more, and also we are adapting that particular condition. If any changes in the external environment, we are able to, and also we are utilizing whatever resources available in that particular habitat, right? So this, the role of whatever role playing that particular organism in that habitat, that is, you can call it as ecological niche, right? You look this image here, image here, consider living compounds. So if you take any one ecological system or one particular habitat, whatever organism found in that particular habitat, everything together we are saying that biotic compound, like which include plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, so all non-living compound together we are saying that abiotic. Like you see here, the water, soil, air, and minerals available in the soil, light, temperature, humidity. So everything under this abiotic compound, right? So everything comes under abiotic compound of the particular habitat, right? Are you clear with this, ma? So now we are going to see one by one. So what are the abiotic factor? What is the need of that particular abiotic factor in that particular habitat, right? So abiotic factor, as we discussed, so these are non-living compound of the ecosystem or non-living compound of the environment, right? So where the organism living, so in that the environmental compound, non-living compound together we are saying that abiotic factor or abiotic compound. Like already which I just told, the wind will come, water will come, sunlight, atmosphere, so this temperature, everything comes under abiotic compound. But this abiotic factor, whatever found in this environment, just we are categorizing this abiotic factor into include three important categories. Three categories are there, abiotic factor, right? Climatic. Second one is adaptive factor. Third one is a topographic factor, right? So further we are classifying this abiotic factor into three categories. First one, climatic factor. Second, adaptive factor. And is a topographic factor. Climate, the climate we know that it's related with the environmental conditions. Condition like light, the temperature, the water availability, and the wind availability, and we will call it as climatic factor, right? So actually categorizing into three groups. Like one is the climatic. So these factor responsible for climate of the particular habitat or ecosystem. So which factor responsible for climate? And climate only, some places are warm, some places are cold, some places are somewhat like pleasant environment is there. For that, the responsible factor are, so these factors together we are calling as climatic factor, right? To take example, light is there, and temperature, water, wind, humidity, etc. And edaphic factor வந்து, so edaphic not a term which is related with the, so why we are accounting the soil as a one of the factor na? So it depends on soil only. You can find that habitat. You can find different type of vegetation. The type of vegetation in the given ecosystem, it depends on soil. Actually, there are different variety of soils are there, like red soil is there, clay soil, black soil, oss soil, sandy soil, like that they are saying that. நம்மளுக்கு எல்லாமே தெரியும் இல்லையா, ஒவ்வொரு சாயிலையும் ஒரு டைப் ஆஃப் பிளான்ட்ஸ் மட்டும் தான் grow ஆகும். So that this edaphic factor, one of the main abiotic factor which responsible for the organism in that particular environment, right? And another one is a topographic factor. Topography nothing but topological factor, right? So like slope, altitude, and plain area and சொல்றது. Altitude na edu சொல்லுவோம் mountain. The slope area வந்து பார்த்தா the valley regions are slope. Okay, actually you can see the organism found in slope may be different from the altitude. Found in slope altitude may differ from the plain. In a plain la patina you can find more number of animals and the small herbs and all. But mountain la patina mostly patina the tall trees and you can find forest area and all. Okay, so it depends on the topology also. Topology also one of the factor which decide or determine the type of organism for that particular habitat. Yeah, abiotic, right? Climatic, edaphic, and topographic. ஏன்னா இப்ப நம்ம ஸ்லோப்பா இருந்துச்சுன்னு வச்சுக்கோ, ஸ்லோவா நம்மளால இருக்க முடியாது, கரெக்டா? அனிமல்ஸ் ஆல்சோ அங்க வந்து கொஞ்சம் கம்மியா தான் இருக்கும். So altitude, higher altitude also not suitable for living organism because where the temperature condition and the humidity, wind power may be different. Human adapted only for plain areas, right? So that this factor together we are saying that abiotic factor which is responsible for the climatic condition and a particular organism. So for example, if one habitat, one group of organisms there, why that organism adapted na? Because of this particular factor, abiotic factor, right ma? And the next one, before going there, நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும் the altitude. So altitude வந்து from equator towards the poles. Actually there are two poles are there. One is a north pole, another one is a south pole. So 90 degree north வந்து north pole, 90 degree north வந்து என்ன சொன்னதுன்னா south pole. Center point என்ன சொல்றது, this part, it's a equator line, right? From equator towards the pole. Actually equator வந்து you can say, how you will say latitude. Actually nearby equator வந்து low latitude. This part is low latitude. This part is low latitude. Towards the pole வந்து என்னன்னா higher latitude, right? From equator when moving from north south, one north and south. For equator line la patina the temperature is very high, and towards it's when we are started moving from equator towards what will happen? So temperature will keep on decreasing. Temperature will keep on decreasing. So the base the different zones are they are forming. Like we are dividing into three important zones, climatic zones, from equator towards the higher latitude, towards the pole. First, the both side of equator we can call it as a tropical zone. Anga pathina the temperature வந்து ரொம்ப hot ah இருக்கும். And next region வந்து temperate, and towards the north polar zone is there, also polar zone. Idan enna சொல்றீங்க, actually it depends on plant vegetation. Actually here Arctic and tundra alpines are there, right? Are you clear with this man? From equator towards the poles. Actually equator வந்து you can get as a low latitude, and poles வந்து latitude. When moving from low latitude to higher latitude, what happened na the temperature will keep on decreasing, right? And for suppose for example polar You see the polar region on the temperature is -7 degree, minus up to going -23. So tropical region you can see here +26 degrees Celsius. And subtropic varappa towards north and south on the +24 degree. But if you go north pole on the -7, -3, south pole pathina -33 degree up to goes -33, right? So as depends on temperature only, the organism also adapt, right? It's a latitude based and altitude based. Altitude, so the plain area considered as a low altitude. The top mountain on the considered as a higher altitude, right? நம்ம இப்போ ஒரு மலை இருக்கு, நம்ம கீழே the base இருக்கும். So the base plane is considered as a low altitude. The mountain top on the higher altitude. Like temperature also changes from low altitude to higher altitude. So either on the low altitude, the plain area you can call it as low altitude. Higher altitude on the top of the mountain. From low altitude to higher altitude, the temperature on the keep on decreasing. And temperature, for example, for 40 degree, so mountain 0 degree, or it may be minus. Okay, you see here based on the altitude and the latitude, so different climatic zones are forming, so that you can find different type of plants, flora and fauna in that particular one. So the based on altitude, latitude, we are categorizing these biomes into different biomes, right? You see alpine tundra. So actually how mountain the 0 day alpine tundra. So next pathina, so coniferous forest, coniferous, and next one is forest, and next tropical forest, SDS forest, coniferous forest, Arctic. So Arctic tundra mostly the pole region, right? So based on climatic zone, how it is forming, so it depends on the latitude and altitude. So latitude to altitude, low latitude equator line, higher altitude polar region, poles, north either south pole. When we are moving from low latitude to higher, what will happen? The temperature decreases. Similarly, the low altitude is plain area. The top of the mountain considered as a higher altitude. When moving from low altitude to higher altitude also, the temperature will be decreasing. Because of the temperature and other abiotic factor, it forming different climatic zone. So different zone, you can find different type of vegetation and different type of animals, right? And overall, or mari animal. Are you clear with this part? And in that abiotic factor, the 4 factors are very important. One is first one is a temperature, second one is water. Water is the second one, and third one is a light, and fourth one is important abiotic factor. So now we are going to see these abiotic factor in details, right? So we can start with first temperature. Students, all are listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We studied there are different factors, right? But in that, the important abiotic factors are only 4: temperature, water, light, and soil, right? So we will see one by one abiotic factor. First, the temperature. Temperature is a condition. So it is the ecologically most relevant environmental factor. In ecological term, the most relevant environmental factor is this temperature, because all our survival is based on the temperature. Because whatever the function happening inside the body, the physiological function, everything is a temperature. So that the temperature considers a the most ecological relevant environmental factors. So the most relevant environmental factor is this temperature, right? Average on maybe vary, depends on season. So actually you see average temperature. Now this time we are getting maybe up to 35. So some temperature we will get only 25 degrees Celsius only. Sometime in summer and all it goes up to 40. But the average temperature on land one day it's very based on depends on season. Seasonally it may be vary. Now temperature on the gradually decreases from equator to poles. I told you previously from equator towards the poles the temperature on the keep on decreasing. Similarly, the temperature from plain to mountain. So the plain on the low altitude. Mountain top on the considered as a higher altitude. So from plain to mountain top also the temperature on the gradually decreases. And also in polar region or high mountain region, you can see the temperature ranges, it becomes sub-zero level. The temperature ranges become sub-zero level. The temperature is become right. But some cases, what will happen in polar region and higher altitude, even it goes up to minus 50 Celsius. So minus lesser than that one. So it depends on in a tropical desert la patina, it is even up to greater than 50 degrees Celsius, right? So it's a depends on season and it depends on the place from equator towards the poles or from low altitude, high altitude only, the temperature in the gradually decreases so that it forms different climatic zone. Actually, the average temperature, if you take the thermal spring region and also deep where you can see the average temperature is it exceed up to degrees Celsius. So the thermal thing and a deep sea hydrothermal one they consider as a unique habitat because these are the temperature of the exceed beyond 100 degrees Celsius also, right? And normal so normal or 35 some even minus degree, some even up to goes beyond 50 degrees Celsius. But some extreme environment like you take example thermal spring or deep sea that temperature even exceed beyond 100 degrees Celsius also, right? 100 degrees Celsius also. Whereas temperature is one of the important one. But here the temperature range which control the type of vegetation, nothing plants, type of animal, so the particular area, right? You see the mango tree. So mango tree even so the temperature will control the distribution of mango trees. The mango trees cannot grow in temperate countries like Canada and Germany. So Canada, Germany, you cannot find even single this mango plant because the particular part is it's a temperate part where the mango tree cannot grow. Similarly, that because do not grow in that particular temperate countries because temperate the cold are throughout the year when the average temperature is very less. So where the throughout the year the climatic is very chill where these organisms this particular snow are not found in Kerala and as region where there is 0 or minus degree where only you can find the snow leopard. But Kerala forest and all, it's not, it's a tropical forest where temperature, average temperature is 35 to 40 degree. So that no leopard. And next one, tuna fish or rarely can. So in ocean beyond ocean tropical latitude, so that ocean beyond the tropical. So these are one kind of fish. So these and all some example, this and all which controlled by the temperature. And a temperature only deciding. So which organism, so actually which is deciding the type of vegetation or type of animals in that particular habitat or particular environment. You see the temperature is all in our organism, each and every reaction is controlled by enzymes. But this temperature which affect the kinetics of enzyme and also basal metabolism and other physiological function of the organism. So that if their organism they are adapted for that particular they can survey, right? And B Tharavan this example ma mango tree cannot grow in temperate countries like Canada and Germany. And another example there is no snow leopard in Kerala forest. Tuna fishes are rare. And based on the range of thermal tolerance, organisms so example human being our temperature surveil our body temperature is exists. You can tolerate some differences in the temperature, variation in the temperature. If the temperature goes 38, 39 or 40 or it comes down, it becomes 36, 35 up to 20 or 25 degree, you can tolerate. So they based on range of the thermal tolerance, temperature tolerance, we are categorizing organisms to two types. One is eurythermal, another one is a stenothermal. So eurythermal, they can tolerate wide range of temperature. So wide range nothing but if the organism, the normal optimum temperature is 35, they can able to survey in or able to survey 30, 20 also. This is a wide range, right? So these kind of organism we are saying that eurythermal. Stenothermal, they can tolerate only narrow range of temperature. Narrow, for example, one organism optimum temperature is 30, able to 36 or 37 or 39 or 40 or 36, 35 or like that only. Only narrow range only they can possible to tolerate. Are you clear with this eurythermal and stenothermal?
Yes, sir.
Organism optimum temperature surveil 35 degrees Celsius. Even though there is a changes in the temperature, they can tolerate like 35 tolerate 40 they can able to tolerate 45 up to 50. But below level 30, 25, 20. So this range you can call it as wide range. That animal you can call it as eurythermal. Stenothermal, they can tolerate only narrow range of temperature. Narrow, only some fluctuation they can adapt, not more than. And 35 to 40 can area difference. 35 or 36 or 37 they can adapt. But 35 less 34 or 33 or 32 like that they can adapt. So beyond that range, they are unable to adapt. That animal we are saying that stenothermal. Like for eurythermal example, like lizard, birds and mammals. So lizard, birds and mammals and animals, etc. These are stenothermal organisms. And next category, the based on ability of thermoregulation. The organism are two types because the organism whether they can possible to regulate their internal and external the condition temperature. Based on that, we are categorizing to one ectotherm and another one is endotherms. So ectotherms, their body temperature fluctuate with the environmental temperature. So ectotherms also we are calling as cyclotherm or cold-blooded animal. Organism, those cannot regulate their body temperature, but they temperature change the ambient. Ambient nothing but the surrounding environmental condition. Actually, one organism that temperature is 30 degree. Now the surrounding environmental temperature become 35. Na? These organisms also they can change their body temperature and the body temperature become 35. Again, it increasing surrounding environment become 40. The organism also they can change. Like the body temperature. Are you clear with this? That animal name is called, we are saying, ectotherms. The ectotherms also called as phytotherms, cold-blooded animals. Ectotherms are cold-blooded animals, right? And endotherms. What is that endotherms? Organism that can temperature. The body temperature. The organism cannot body temperature. So if change the condition, right? If the ambient temperature or surrounding temperature changing also, they cannot change. So the endotherms also called as homeothermic or warm-blooded animals. Homeothermic, or you can call it as warm-blooded. Like for this examples are endotherms. Because our body always maintains. So temperature changing in surrounding, our body cannot adjust. So body always maintain constant at 37 degrees Celsius. So that we are homeothermic or warm-blooded. But cyclotherm cold-blooded, they can adjust their body temperature according to the surrounding environment. Like you take example, most of the plants and they do not have any body fluids. So they do not maintain any constant internal environment. They can change their body temperature according to the surrounding. Like you take example for ectotherms, like most of the invertebrates are reptiles and all. For endotherms, from the birds and the mammals. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
So do you have any questions up to this?
No, sir.
Yes. Do you have to this? The part is here. So urethermal.
Yes, sir.
So urethermal